Welcome back to the Terrace, gentlemen. I normally say congrats or commiserations, but I feel like it is a little bit of a congratulations to United and a little bit of a commiserations to Liverpool, especially with the narrative before the game. KJ, though, what did you make of your team United's performance today away at the mighty Liverpool?
Going into this game, I think all of us were just shocked about what potentially could be and what the scoreline could be. And to then to see the game and the performance they put in, I can just be happy. I can just be happy with the performance. And the fact that we were this close to winning is crazy. Yes, it would have been offside, but imagine if it was on. And imagine if he had scored. It would have been beautiful. But yes, overall, the performance was really good. These are the performances that we've been asking to see for the last month. You know, the defenders actually rushing out on the back and actually being aggressive against the attackers. They've been very passive recently. The midfielders retaining the ball, keeping the ball and making good driving runs. And our attack today wasn't the greatest. It wasn't as good as it could be, as good as we want it to be. But there was patterns of play, there was patches of play where you thought United are in this. And that is what we've been asking for. We just want to compete. Okay? Man, listen, we've got a long way to go. We've got a lot of players in that squad that need to leave, lots of recruitment to do. But all we've been asking for is at least compete in every game that you're in. Under Ten Hag, we weren't competing. The last month that we've been through, we weren't competing. This is what this team needs to do week in, week out. Because you can't just do this to me now, and then when you come against Southampton next weekend, not next weekend, but in the next midweek, you can't just be flopping. When we're playing against the teams who are in and around us in the relegation fight and not in the top six, you can't be flopping. You can't be showing us this and be flopping. So they need to maintain that. But the overall performance today was spot on. I need to talk about Mainoo and Ugarte. Yeah? Because I got told when we signed Ugarte, Mainoo and Ugarte could not ever work. I got told it couldn't work. I got told Mainoo is too slow. He can't run. He makes too many poor decisions. He's not that good. I got told Ugarte isn't press resistant. He can't pass. He's not a good footballer. He's rubbish. Today, those two showed their quality, and they're one of the reasons why we're still in the game today. Ugarte is a good signing. No one can tell me otherwise. Yes, he was struggling under Ten Hag, but who wasn't struggling under Ten Hag in that midfield? We've put him in the midfield in a role that is made for him, and look at the quality. Winning the ball, making tackles, being a nuisance to the opposition midfield, and playing the ball simple. No longer have we got Eriksen and Casemiro trying to do hero balls from the deep midfield. We have a midfielder who knows his limitations, who knows what he can do, and gives it to the players who can do things that are better than him. He's not press resistant, is a lie. The way he gets pressed nearly every game I've seen him in, and he can get out of it, fine. And let me just talk about his passing now. He's a madman. That pass that he did in the end of the game, he's insane. Because if he had got that wrong, that is like a 4v2.
I'm not going to lie, KJ. When he kicked that ball,
that's when you take the chance.
When he kicked that ball, though, a little bit of poop came out. I went,
I
stopped breathing. I stopped breathing, and then we nearly won. But
and this is the thing.
Yeah,
he is a good player, and he's one of the. I said there's only like 5 players I would keep. He's one of them because he's shown his quality. And Mainoo today on the ball is what we expect from Mainoo. He's been going for a rough time, and already the media are on it, the fan base are on it. Already get people saying is this, that, and the third. We saw an article come out today. I know it's by David Ornstein, but why have all of a sudden it's come out now before the game, before Liverpool game against Liverpool, that apparently he's not unsellable. That apparently he could be up for sale. You know, and then drops that on people's head tops.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't chat about Starboy.
I will say that I like the fact that most players are seen as completely expendable if they're not good enough. I like that. If you listen to, I can't believe how many interviews Sky get this man to do. It's ridiculous. But he said today, and people just, when I heard Dom Robbie talking to Goldbridge the other day saying, he's got to change what you're doing. I understand why rivals say that, because you're not going to consume the interviews relating to Man United. But Amorim was questioned, why do you think the players are not getting understanding what you're trying to make them do? And he just went, it's really simple. They're thinking too much on the pitch. They're thinking, right, I'm going to pass it to the left, but am I meant to drop back after that or push forward? Am I meant to go to the left or the right? Because they don't know the system, because he goes, we haven't had any training sessions. And he went, I'm really confident as soon as we start training, you'll see them come to life in this system. So I'm not getting carried away, because there's still going to be some dark days. There's still going to be some bad moments. There's going to be some bad results until this squad is fully built. And even then, fuck me, everyone has bad. Liverpool were champions of England. They conceded 7 goals. But these things happen. So anyone who thinks you'll never have a bad game again is crazy. But I just think too many Man United, I get rivals doing it. I get the media. Too many Man United fans ignored the facts surrounding this team under Amorim, the lack of training. I saw 2 United fans the other day use Newcastle and Eddie Howe as an example. And they went, he took over a team in 19th. He didn't have his own players, and look how well they did. They won one of their first 10 games. It wasn't until the January, and they invested 130,000, and they started having training sessions, because there was 2 games a week into that point, that his team started to improve. Now, I'm hopeful this is the beginning of improvement, where we don't go on runs like we've just seen the last 4 matches. I'm hopeful of that. But too many Man United fans, in my opinion, pulled their trousers down, bent over, and parted their cheeks for rivals. Too many did that for me. They did. Hello. Yeah. They did. They parted them cheeks. They did. Far too soon for me. Far too soon. I understand the criticism, because I criticize the players, but on the system, on the manager, the lack of training, I thought that was disgraceful from Man United fans all week. Disgraceful.
So it's interesting, because I get people getting worried in front of Liverpool, seeing how the system wasn't working, because like I didn't say it out loud, and I never would. I was like, this might be one of those games where the system gets completely exposed, because we're not at it yet. And obviously, because I hadn't seen those 3 play properly together. But that was a big part of last game when I said, like, I'll keep saying it. I don't want to hear about Bruno being the first one out. I don't want to hear it. Like, I just do not want to hear it anymore. He should not be one of the first players out. Sure, if he needs to go, he needs to go. But the moment Bruno, like, there's one moment today, Bruno, it was the 44th minute. I remembered it in my head, because I want everybody, if you have a chance to go look back, he had a chance to hoof the ball. He did his usual, he did the whole tap circle, tapped it. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And he took a touch, and he made the right pass. It got intercepted, by the way. It did actually get cut out, but he did exactly what everybody would want him to do in that situation instead of hooping the ball. And I think that comes again with training and him understanding what he needs to do now in this new system. Ugarte, KJ, you got my back. I was the biggest supporter of this signing. I loved that signing. I kept saying he's going to be class. I don't care what another manager thinks of him. I watched a lot of him in the Copa. He's one of those midfielders who does, ironically, exactly what everybody hates Bruno for not doing. He just does his job. He goes in there. He's gritty. He's nasty. He's Uruguayan. Those players, they don't give a shit. I love watching him crash into players. I love the way he gets around the pitch. Today, he just did everything right. I love the signing. It's like probably my favorite signing of the summer. And I'm happy it's working out. I do think you still look at a lot of our players and you're like, we need better players at the end of the day. Like, I know Delo had a good game, but there's still moments where I'm like, that was an easy cross. There's still the Ahmad header. Like, there's still certain things when you think about like Højlund as their striker. It's just not. I still think that's why I said Ugarte as the player I think we need to bring in, because we're creating chances. We're continuing.
Can I ask you a question on that? Okay, yeah. It's a host question.
Yeah,
that Ahmad miss. Do you think that Ahmad miss or the Casemiro chance in the last game? Do you think we are almost punished more by that, or we feel more angry at that because we're not creating the abundance of chances and winning as many games as we did 15, 20, 30 years ago? Or I feel like some of those misses and some of those mistakes in games are so normal, but because our normal used to be we were a top team and we normally recovered from mistakes and we were always challenging for league titles, we almost learned to ignore those mistakes, where now those mistakes feel like they hurt us more, but they're quite typical in football.
I think you're 100% on it, because I think we look at that mistake. I look at Ahmad not scoring there and I go, all right, we're going to get maybe 2 more of those. We're going to get maybe 1 more of those. So yeah, it hurts you a lot more to see those chances not taken, like Rasmus being in on goal and being like, I need you to score there because we're not going to get another chance. That's how we feel when we watch these games. But I think as we start getting more comfortable with the team and how we're playing, we're going to know we're going to keep getting these chances. And I think with the Xerxes thing, yeah, we can blame the fans, but that was cowardly for me. I personally do not want my striker, any of my forwards, looking over, seeing Harry Maguire, unless the pass was perfect, which it wasn't, and thinking I'm going to pass it. I just don't want that. I don't care if it's in a better space. I want the forward to take control there and be like, I'm going to take that shot on. And that for me is part of wearing the shirt. And it's a little too heavy for Xerxes at the moment. And I get it. The fans had something to play in that, and I get making the right play and all that. But in my opinion, when you're Liverpool versus United, and you are a striker or a front man, you take that shot.
Yo, Cam, I hear it, but at the same time, with the confidence that he's in,
I don't care.
He made the best decision that he could in that moment.
I don't care. Like, you have to take that shot because Maguire's right there. He can get the rebound. There's also Garnacho coming in. There's multiple things that can go better than just take the shot, man. I personally don't care about what these fans are like. I don't care about what our fan base does to some people. As a player, you need to have the balls. Like Garnacho, I'll give him this. At very least, Garnacho, he came in and he played as if, nothing's been up. You got to have that confidence when you play for United, or you're just going to end up falling away. That's it. Look at Maguire. Like, Maguire, let's be honest. We were talking about how he needs to go. He's trash. He's come back in confident. He's up.
But look how he did that, though. He did that by being out the team and making the right decisions while he's playing. If Xerxes plays that ball a little bit better and we score and it is onside, maybe you still will, but no one going to be talking about, why didn't he shoot?
I still say he should have shot.
I know you will. I know you still will. But overall, as a general consensus, he made the right choice.
That's one. Yeah, listen, I hear you. That's one of those scenes where if he shoots and scores, we go, yeah. If he shoots and misses, we go, why didn't you? We would all be saying, why didn't you square it? Because it's a tap him. And those, I hear you. I do hear you on that. I get where you're coming from. Viewers, we'd love to get your take on this game. We're going to be here for a while, so we don't need to rush everything. We're going to come back to your super chat soon.